I'm 90 years old, and most mornings I wake up before the sun. Not because I need to, but because sleep no longer hides my thoughts. I sit in silence in this small room with hands that shake and memories that refuse to stay quiet. I lived a respectable life, did everything I was supposed to do, worked hard, stayed responsible, took care of everyone. But now, at the edge of my life, one truth follows me every day. I keep thinking about the life I didn't live. Not the dreams I failed, the moments I postponed, the words I never said, the chances I thought would come later, because later felt endless until it wasn't.
Too many quiet hours, too many memories that finally have nothing standing in their way. I don't tell this story to feel better about myself. At my age, there's no point in that. I'm telling it because time has made me honest, and because some things only become clear when there's very little left to lose. I'm closer to the end than the beginning. That's not a dramatic statement, it's just the truth. My body reminds me every day. My hands shake when I button my shirt. My knees ache even when I'm sitting still. And the people I once thought would always be there are, one by one, gone. When you reach this age, you stop worrying about how you sound. You just want to say what's real. What's real for me is this. I lived a respectable life. I did what I was supposed to do, and yet I still think about the life I didn't live. Not in big, flashy ways, not fantasies of fame or adventure. It's quieter than that. It's the version of me who said yes instead of later, the version who stayed a little longer, the one who spoke when it mattered. I don't have many regrets about what I tried and failed at. Those failures faded a long time ago. What stays with me are the things I postponed until they disappeared. When I was young, I didn't feel young. I felt busy. I felt necessary. I felt like everything depended on me doing the right thing, in the right order, at the right time. In my 20s, I believed life would begin once I got stable, a steady job, a proper routine, enough money to stop worrying. That seemed reasonable. Everyone around me thought the same way. We talked about the future like it was a place we were all guaranteed to reach. I worked hard, not because I loved the work, but because it felt responsible. I woke up early, commuted, came home tired, and told myself this was what adulthood looked like. There were moments back then, small ones, invitations I declined because I was exhausted, conversations I cut short because I had somewhere else to be, feelings I ignored because they didn't fit neatly into my plans. None of it felt like a mistake at the time. I told myself there would be time later, time to rest, time to travel, time to talk, time to understand who I really was when no one needed anything from me. Later felt infinite. In my 30s and 40s, life sped up. Responsibilities stacked on top of each other. Work became heavier. Family became louder. Silence became rare. I was always in motion, always solving something, always managing something. I became good at being dependable. People relied on me. That felt good. It felt like purpose. But being needed is not the same as being present. I didn't know that then. There were evenings when I sat at the table with the people I loved, physically there, mentally elsewhere, thinking about deadlines, thinking about money, thinking about tomorrow. I thought I was doing the right thing. I really did. I didn't miss everything. I showed up for birthdays. I paid the bills. I kept things running. From the outside, my life looked full. But fullness and depth are not the same. The cost didn't arrive all at once. That's the dangerous part. It came quietly, in ways you can explain away. A phone call not returned because I was tired. A visit postponed because it was inconvenient. A dream shelved because it didn't seem practical. Years pass very easily when you're not paying attention. I remember thinking more than once that I'd slow down soon, just not yet. After this project, after this obligation, after things settled. Things never settle. By the time I noticed something was missing, I didn't know how to name it. I just felt restless, uncomfortable in my own life, like I was wearing clothes that didn't quite fit anymore, but I'd been wearing them so long I forgot how it felt to breathe freely. I told myself this was normal, that everyone felt this way, that this was just adulthood. Then came the losses. Not all at once, not dramatically, just enough to change the air in the room. A friend I assumed I'd see again, gone suddenly. A parent who grew quiet before they disappeared. Relationships that cooled into politeness and then into distance. Each loss made me aware of time in a way I hadn't been before, not as something abstract, but as something that could actually run out. I started thinking about the past more, not nostalgically, but with questions. Why didn't I say that? Why did I wait so long? Why did I assume there would always be another chance? The turning point didn't come with fireworks. It came in a hospital room. I was sitting in a hard chair, listening to machines hum, watching someone I loved breathe shallowly. There was nothing to fix, nothing to plan, nothing to distract myself with. Just waiting. That's when it hit me with a clarity I hadn't felt before. So much of my life had been spent waiting for the right moment to live it, and now the moment had passed. I realized how many conversations I'd delayed because they felt uncomfortable, how many feelings I'd buried because they seemed impractical, how many days I rushed through because I believed the important parts were somewhere ahead. Sitting there, I understood something painful and simple. You don't get your time back. You don't get to renegotiate your priorities later. And love doesn't wait patiently while you sort yourself out. After that, I tried to be different, but change is harder when habits are old and time is short. Some things improved. I spoke more honestly. I slowed down when I could. I paid attention in ways I hadn't before. But some things were already gone. People you lose don't come back just because you understand. Relationships don't rewind to the beginning. Opportunities don't reopen just because you're ready now. That's one of the cruel truths of aging. Insight arrives when options are limited. Now, at 90, my days are simple. I wake up. I sit by the window. I watch light move across the room. I think.
I think about the person I was and the person I assumed I'd become.